Good evening. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up to all my fellow builders out there? I hope everybody's having a good evening. I just wanted to check in. I want to give honor and I want to just give thanks, to God, for continuing to be a guiding force in my life. God is always working, even when we don't think God is working. God is processing us. God is working. God is growing us into allowing us to build into, like I always say, building into becoming the best version of yourself. A lot of these videos, just so y'all know, a lot of these little, whatever you want to call them, some of my clients, call them J talks. That's cute. I like that. But whatever you want to call them, motivational speaks. Hope to do a TED talk. But you can't just hope to do things. And I think that's going to be the theme of the discussion that I want to put out there into the universe. You can't just hope to do stuff. You gotta be willing to work for the things that you want out of life. And I get it. Stuff ain't easy. Life ain't fair. Shit is extremely difficult to do. But you gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to go through it because that's the difference between winning and losing. That's the difference between succeeding and not succeeding. It's your willingness to be able to hang in there. It's your willingness to go through it. It's your willingness. It's your commitment. It's your commitment to being willing to continue to go through it no matter how hard it takes. When I breathe like that, that's normally because I take a moment to pause. I'm a very reflective person, and that's by intention. I wasn't always as reflective, when I was a younger individual, especially when I was a young man, when I thought I was a man, but I was still growing into being a complete man, a fully fledged man. That's a lesson for another day. I'm not going to get into that part of it, but I'll be teaching on that in the next couple of weeks. We're just talking about part of the reason why it may be so difficult for you. But to stay on track, to talk a little bit about your life's journey. You are in process. The only thing that you have to do is commit to it. Commit to continuing to be in process. Commit to continuing to work. But you gotta have a clear sense of direction. You gotta know, all right, what is some, and don't get this is not a fatal situation. Like things aren't fixed. It's okay for things to change, but you have to be willing to do some things in life, and you got to have some idea of where you want to go. Shit, I don't care where you want to go. You want to go to Mexico? You want to go to Florida? You want to go to California? Shit, pick something. Pick something, because a person without any sense of direction is just spinning the hills. And that's what life is all about. One of my favorite rap groups, The Locks, living off experience. You are living and learning through the experiences that you have in life. That's what life is all about. That's what life is all about. Life is life is so good. I'm so thankful. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. But a lot of it has to do it, with that commitment. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm a licensed therapist. I wake up every day and I'm like, damn, I'm a licensed therapist. I can work independently. I have agency over how I want to work and the type of work that I want to do. And I enjoy that freedom. Like I enjoy that liberty to be able to work a certain way. But that wasn't always the case. You see, it took me 7 years, right? Probably, seven concerted years, right? It took way longer than that because I had a lot more jobs. I had a lot more things that I did, in the earlier stages of my life before I even discovered. Because I didn't always want to be a licensed therapist. There were other things that I wanted to do when I was a younger man, right? But like I was saying earlier, you got to have a sense of direction. You got to reach for something. So it was through reaching for something it was through reaching for different things, you know, in my career, whether it was, when I was working in the security industry or when I was working in the human services industry, when I was working in the music and entertainment industry, that led me into, oh, okay, therapist, that's where it's at. Mental health is where it's at, right? So you can't discover anything, you can't learn anything unless you're willing to explore. You have to pick things. You have to try different things out. It's the equivalent of going into the shoes. You go into the shoe store, right? On that rack, there's thousands, hundreds, where depending on how big the shoe store is, there's literally countless things that you can try, right? And you might see a couple of different things that you might like, but then you try it on and then you walk around a little bit. Ooh, this feels uncomfortable. I don't like this. It looks nice, but it doesn't feel right. You put the other shoe on, you try something else, right? You take it off, you put something else. All right, this feels okay, but it doesn't look right, right? And it has to look right, looking right, and feeling right have to go hand in hand so that I feel secure. So you take that off and then you try something else, and then eventually you try something, you get something that you really like where you say, oh, this is the shit. Not only does this feel good, these joints is the bomb. I bang with these, I did these, right? That's life. That's life. You got to make sure that the things that you're picking in your life align when it comes to developing the things that are congruent with cultivating your sense of happiness, cultivating your sense of fulfillment, and cultivating your sense of success, right? That is part of the significance of our life's journey. It took me roughly 7.5 years. 7.5 years. When you in the mix, when you in the mix, that seems like a long time. But listen, I'm 40. I'm 40 something years old. I'm in my early 40s. I know I might look younger than some of you, right? That's what some people tell me, right? I'm 40. I'm in my early 40s. But I got my license when I was 40 years old. Is when I first got my official paperwork, my operating license, right? Which gave me the ability to be able to not have to rely on anybody. I can pretty much contract, have develop relationships with the insurance companies and work independently, work on my own, right? I don't really have to work for anybody. It's all about, what did I say? Let's go full circle. We always want to go full circles in these conversations. What are you willing to work for? Early mornings, late nights, mentorship. What are the things that you focus on intellectually, right? Where are you getting your intellectual stimulation from? Where are you, is your mind straight? Is your mentality straight, right? What are the things that you expose yourself to psychologically to make sure that your head is in the right place, right? Are you a master over your emotions? Are you a master over your emotions? Because you got to be able to control yourself. Because if you don't control yourself, then you allowing other people to control you. You allowing society to control you. You got to be able to control yourself. If you can't control yourself, you allow other people, you allow other shit, you allow shit to take you places that you're not really trying to go, and that comes from not having a proper sense of clarity, right? I got the rest of my life to continue to build. I got the rest of my life to continue to build into becoming the best version of myself. And this is why I always tell people, oh, wait a minute, my best is yet to come. My best is yet to come, because I'm still growing and I'm still working on being a better me, day, moment by moment, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. I'm intentional with what I give my time to as I focus on building into becoming the best version of myself. But if I would have gave up, when stuff was hot, if I would have gave up, if I would have walked around with a bad attitude, if I wouldn't have learned, then I wouldn't be on the other side of it, right? I wouldn't be on the other side of being able to benefit, from my success, the benefit, from my marriage, the benefit from my children, the benefit from my friends, the relationships, the experiences that I get to have. the experiences that I get to have. Because as we are talking about in this discussion, you can't hope for it. You can't hope for it. You can't just pray for it. As the Bible teaches, faith without works is dead. You can't just, listen, pray, 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 pray. Definitely pray. Definitely dialogue. But be number one, be intentional about what you praying for. Be careful what you pray for. Be intentional about what you pray for, but be careful about what you pray for. Level one of my things that I teach on all the time, and I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up in a minute, get back to the game, get back to the big man. I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up. One of the things that I teach about all the time is with the power of your prayer. We ask God, one of my favorite things to talk about here, patience. How do you learn? You learn, like my man Jada, like my man P, like my man Luch said, you learn through experience. You living off experience. So how you gonna learn how to be patient if you can't handle a little bit of bullshit that you gotta go through, huh? So you gotta learn how to deal with that stuff. That's the true essence of learning to be patient. Be careful with your prayers. Be intentional with your prayers. Because God is not the genie in the bottle. You're not going to just pray and God is going to go zing zing walla ding and now it's yours. No, God is going to say, okay, cool. You want a cake? Here go eggs on Monday. Here go flour on Tuesday. Here go water on Wednesday. Here go ice and mix on Thursday. I'm not the best baker, y'all, so don't get. Here go some yeast on Friday, right? But basically what I'm saying is God is going to give you all of the things that you need in order to bake the cake. You be sitting around asking God, what's up? You go to God, what's up? Why I ain't got a cake yet? God gonna be like, yo, I gave you everything you need. You tell me why you ain't got a cake yet. Hence the power of your prayers. Because you can't hope for it more than you willing to work for it. So we gotta come to an understanding in this life. When you think about your journey, our learning points of the day is you gotta be intentional, you gotta be clear about what you want, and you gotta be committed. You gotta continue to be committed. I get it, it's tough. I get that it's difficult. Hey, listen, it ain't always gonna be this tough. Lord knows that I thought that, man, I used to think sometimes that the things that I went through would never end. But I noticed just by staying in there. And then number two, one of my things that I talk about too from time to time is when you change your environment, you change your energy. Sometimes it's the environment, right? We'll be talking about that in future sessions, how the environment plays a role in your ability to be successful. So that's the J talk. This is the building session, right? As we focus on building into becoming the best version of yourself. So I want you all, to definitely like this, share it with somebody who needs it. And then also, follow me over on YouTube, follow me on over on your on Instagram, follow me on a book, like, share, and subscribe. As we continue to build into becoming the best versions of ourselves, and I'm Jay Wright, your favorite therapist, inspiring hope, changing lives, one session at a time. All right, you guys keep building out there.